Never drive an empty taxi through a tunnel at midnight. Hello, I'm Frank, a night shift taxi driver. After what happened that night, I swore I'd never drive through a tunnel alone again, because I'm not sure I'd make it out alive. It was a hot summer night, close to 3 a.m. The streets were almost deserted, with only the dim streetlights reflecting off the wet pavement. I was slowly driving along the empty roads, hoping to get a few more fares before heading home. Just as I was about to turn at the next intersection, I heard a loud click. The rear passenger door suddenly swung open. I slammed the brakes hard, my heart racing. The door had opened from the inside, yet the back seat was completely empty. I took a deep breath, telling myself it must have been a lock malfunction. I got out to check, but everything seemed fine. The door was secure, as if nothing had happened. Convincing myself that I was just tired, I got back in the car and continued driving. Ahead of me was a long, narrow, and old tunnel, with dim lights casting eerie shadows along the damp walls. I usually sped up whenever I entered this tunnel. It was always unsettling. That night was no different. I instinctively pressed harder on the gas, wanting to get through quickly. As soon as I entered the tunnel, an icy chill filled the car. The temperature dropped suddenly, and I felt goosebumps rise on my skin. Then, I caught a glimpse of something strange in the rearview mirror. A faint figure of a woman sitting in the back seat. Her hair was messy, covering her face, making her features impossible to see. "Who's there?" I asked, trying to sound calm, but my voice trembled. The shadow didn't respond. It only swayed slightly, as if moving closer. I whipped my head around, but the back seat was empty. Just as I tried to speed up and leave the tunnel, I heard a low, cold laugh echoing through the car. It sounded distant, but somehow felt close, as if it came from the back seat. I could feel an invisible force pulling at me, as if the whole car was being sucked into a dark void. The darkness of the tunnel grew deeper, and the road ahead became almost invisible. I looked into the rearview mirror again, and was greeted by a pale face inches away. The woman's face was pressed against the back of my seat, her eyes dark and hollow, and a twisted grin stretched across her mouth. Her long, bony arms reached forward, nearly touching my shoulder. I floored the gas pedal, desperate to escape the tunnel. The laughter grew louder, and the woman's figure became clearer. Her body seemed to float in the darkness, her long hair drifting as if underwater, and her mouth slowly opened, revealing sharp, jagged teeth, as if ready to tear into my neck. "Get away from me!" I shouted, speeding toward the tunnel's exit. Finally, I saw a light ahead. It felt like something shoved me forward, nearly causing me to crash into the steering wheel. But as soon as the car burst out of the tunnel, the chilling pressure and eerie laughter vanished, replaced by the familiar stillness of the night. My hands trembled on the steering wheel as I tried to calm down. I thought it was over. But when I parked by the side of the road and opened the rear door, a foul stench hit me. There was a damp patch on the seat, mixed with long, dark strands of hair, as if something had just left behind a mark from the depths of hell. I quickly slammed the door shut, vowing never to drive through that tunnel alone again. I don't know what that woman was or why she chose my taxi. But ever since that night, whenever I pass that tunnel, I can feel a pair of cold eyes watching me from the darkness, as if she's still waiting for the next foolish driver who dares to pass through with an empty car.